Our topic for today is what to do when your client is consistently late. So there's a couple of ways to look at it. You want to look at it purely from like a logistical standpoint, right? If your client is late, are they still expecting their full 50-minute, 53 minutes, 1 hour session? And does it make your day shift? I have been to therapists before that when the client before me runs late, they run late into my session, and then it creates a snowball effect. I think it's really important that if clients are late, that you have a hard stop at your normal time that your session would end, because it really does become a snowball, and it's really not fair to the other clients that you're running late. It's a really common complaint that people have, is that their therapists are running late. I always share this, like in my life am like, I'm a 5-minute late kind of person. Like for me, that's just, whether that's right or wrong. Like if somebody says, oh, we're going to meet for dinner at 7:00, like I'll be there at 7:05, maybe even 7:10, depending on the traffic. I'm not a super, super timely person. I have people in my life, like you tell them 7:00, they're there at 6:45, right? So I think everybody has a different relationship with time. So, late may feel something, maybe something different to you. Generally speaking, anything over 10 minutes for me is late. Because that really will shift the hour. If I'm 10 minutes late for whatever reason, like sometimes I had a call, that I had to make, or there was a small emergency, or we used to have one bathroom at our old place, and sometimes everybody would get out of session and there would be a staggered and have to wait to go to the bathroom, and it would cause like a 5 or 10 minute delay. Fine. Sometimes clients are 10 minutes late. That's really like, I can manage a 5 or 10 minute delay, and I would hope my clients would give me like a 5 or 10 minute delay on their end. But if somebody is really like 15, 20, 30 minutes late, then there really needs to be a boundary set in place around that. If somebody's 30 minutes late, like if somebody called and said they were going to be 30 minutes late, I would tell them like, listen, we need to reschedule. This isn't going to work. If they were like really adamant, they're like, listen, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there in 30 minutes. I know I'm only going to be able to have 20 minutes, but I really need to talk about X, Y, Z. Then I may make a clinical decision in allowing that to happen. I might say, why don't you just pull off the side of the road? We'll do a phone session. It could be a variety of different things depending on the client's circumstances. If you are billing for insurance, that's a different thing, because it depends on what service code you're using. You want to make sure you're using appropriate service codes for the length of time. Also, is there anything in your informed consent around like 30-minute sessions versus 1-hour sessions? Are you blocked off an hour and this person really is literally taking up an hour of time because you're not seeing another client? Maybe you could, write some emails, write some notes, but you really did dedicate that 1 hour to them. So it's a logistical issue, right? But it's also a clinical issue. Is there a reason why this person is consistently running late? Is there a reason why they can't commit to this time? Is there some, internal struggle, some resistance they're having to the therapeutic process? So I think it's also important to set boundaries around logistics, but it's also important to discuss what being late means to them, how being late shows up in their family. There are some cultures where being late is just a part of the norm, and maybe they're applying that to therapy too. Maybe they're not realizing the impact that it's having on, the rest of your day. You don't have to guilt them and say, well, when you're late, I have to be late for everybody else, and it puts a big stress. Like, you can just do that in a healthy, appropriate way and model boundaries and model, appropriate timeframes for them. That might be something that they need in their lives. So I think you can handle it both from a logistical standpoint and a clinical standpoint. And I think both of those are equally as important. So I want to talk a little bit about when you're running late in session, what to do. But first, I want to thank our sponsor, TherapyNotes. If you're looking for an electronic health record that's really full service, one that can help you run your practice, keep you on time, keep you on track, I want you to check out TherapyNotes. They have a free telehealth option. And what really makes TherapyNotes stand apart is their customer service. You can give them a call. They can help guide you if you have some questions, if you need some guidance, and they are really, really great. So I want you to check out TherapyNotes. So if you're running late and you're feeling anxious, you're going to bring that into your next session. You're going to come in and you'll be like, let's get started. And maybe your client needs a minute to decompress. You need a minute to engage in the session. I think communicating with your clients, if you're running late for whatever reason, like I would run out and say, listen, I'm running 5 minutes late. I have to return this call to my husband. There's some kind of thing going on or whatever it was. Or, we're running 10 minutes late, the air conditioning wasn't working and the maintenance, whatever. I'm just thinking of examples. Doesn't matter what it is, but communicate and let your clients know that you're running late and really take accountability and responsibility for that. So then that way you can adjust your day. Sometimes if I had a break in my day, I had an hour, I would call like my next client and say, hey, can you come 15 minutes later? I'm running 15 minutes late. How does this impact your day? I would really try to communicate, and then I would work on adjusting my schedule somewhere so that my whole day wouldn't be off. Emergencies do happen. I used to drive an hour to work. I would leave an hour and a half before I had to get to the office, but sometimes even that wasn't enough. Like sometimes there were accidents, sometimes there were issues, and I would have to, tell people I was running late, and people are usually pretty understanding and just work on adjusting the day from there. But when it comes to clients, we also do need to set boundaries, and I needed to make adjustments myself too. That's why I no longer drive an hour away, because there were just so many things that happened that could create a late day for myself. So if your clients are running late, address it, 1, from a logistical standpoint, and 2, from a clinical standpoint, and hopefully that corrects itself. I'm here most days answering your questions. I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye.